Hi everyone, welcome to another video from Mesolight Visual. I am Dominic, and in this video let's continue where we left from the previous video. We're going to generate, develop a section and put more details to this model. I also recommend you to watch the previous video. I'll put the link on the description and at the top right corner. And also want you to follow along with this demonstration by downloading this project file. The link is in the description. Without any further ado, let's get started. Alright, the first thing to do, I want to place or create an artwork of a statue by the entrance or by the front of the building. So I'm going to go to the floor plan and start with the platform of where I'm going to place this. Let's activate the slab tool, and I'm going to use the geometry method of rectangle, then place it here. I'm gonna draw a rectangle like that, something like that. I think it's too big. Let me reduce this by offsetting the edge, and see on 3D it's not visible from 3D because of the height, the level. So I'm gonna scroll down on the info box and set this to maybe minus 100. There we go. I might decide not to have it take the entire width of this part of the building. Maybe let me just create an opening for this. Let's pick one of the points and subtract polygon. I'm going to create an opening here. You know what, I want something creative. I'm going to go to the document, tools, activate your arc your circle. Instead of a circle, I'm going to use ellipse or semi-diagonal. Let's go for the one with the center. The one with the center, so that I can just draw it like that and control the geometry dimensions this way. Let's have it 600 by 350. Hit enter. Perfect. And then I'm going to create a hole based on this curve or shape. So I'm going to activate my slab, then pick the points to activate subtract from the polygon, and then I'm going to hold the spacebar key and to activate magic wand, then click on the curve. The opening will be created. So if you go back to 3D, this is what you will get. I'm going to create more like a pond. So I'm going to go back and place a slab. Let's activate a slab tool, and then with this one I'm going to change the structure to just a basic slab, and then change the material to water. Make sure on the settings the surfaces is all the surfaces are water pond. I'm going to link all the surfaces and then hit OK. After this, let's press and hold your space bar again to activate the magic wand, then click on the shape as well. So if you go to the 3D, you will have more like your water pond. But practically what you'll have to have a structure to house or to hold this water. At the moment it's just the water on the ground surface, and it needs a pond to hold it. So I'm going to create that. But before I do that, maybe I might draw a section across this pond to guide me in terms of the elements. So I'm going to right click and open it with the current settings. So this is basically the pond and the water pond, right? You need your walls and then the slab or the floor for this, your walls around and slab around, so that the water can be maintained or hold within this container. So I'm going to go to the ground, then activate the beam tool. With the beam tool, let's go for chained geometry method and do the same. Press and hold your space bar to place your beams like that, and you need a floor, but let me open it from the section so that you can appreciate this well. Where is the beam? The beam is this one. Make sure the groups are suspended in order to select all the elements. Then I'm going to drag it down right there, and I will increase its height to maybe 500, something like that. And I would need now a floor for this. It's going to be a concrete floor, obviously. So I'm going to select or duplicate the water. Let's just duplicate it and place it at the bottom. Sorry, place it at the bottom like that. I think let me have. Okay, and change its height. Slab of 100 millimeters would do. Then this will be the floor. Okay, and I'm going to stretch the water so that it can be right above the floor. So all these things needs to be cleaned up to connect well with the mesh tool. So I'm gonna select the mesh tool and right click in the space to bring connect solid element operation. Within this window for solid element operation, we want to subtract some elements from our mesh. So the mesh will be the target. So by default ArchiCAD, when you open solid element operation window, it will select the selected element within the file, okay, or it to be added as a target within the window. So we need to pick our target, our operator, which is going to be these three elements. Then I'm going to use the operation of subtraction with upward extrusion, then execute. So this is basically what we have. And then with this floor slab, change the material to concrete, and even this one should be the same concrete structural. And I can pick out the graphics are not the same, so that is very important. So this one, let's check its undercut line pen, which it's under 30, the cut line pen size. So I'm going to do the same to this one. It's 30, so that you can have and then to clean up this joint, let me get rid of this. I'm gonna go to the 3D, then select the slab and pick one of the points there. Then I can offset all the edges. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna do undo, offset all the edges again, and then put it from the outside like that. So basically this will be our pond, and for the water I'm going to do the same as well. Let's offset it to the inside. I think all these tasks I can do them within my floor plan, just for accuracy reasons. Okay, if you go back to your section, this will be now captured cleanly. We are left with that one. This is more like a planter, and let's say this needs to be on the inside. I'm going to offset the curve right there so that this gets cleaned perfect. So now I have the right connection of the elements, okay, all the way. The planter details also are very important. We'll look onto this in later stages of this demonstration. But then now we've created the position for our statue. Let's create the actual statue. So from this view we'll have a statue. I don't know, I might decide to flash this to the level of the floor, and do away with its being popping out to or protruding from the surface. What do you think? Would you want it to be flat or flashing with the floor or the floor level, or this kind of projection is fine? Let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe, share this video with those that you think they will benefit from it, and also like it if you find it interesting. This is the only way you could contribute to the growth of this channel in order for us to continue creating or producing videos like this. All right, let's continue. So with the statue or the artwork, I had a comment with one of our from one of our members from our WhatsApp community group. If you want to be part of this magnificent people, check the link on the description to join that WhatsApp group. He was asking from previous videos that how did I create an artwork. I had a building or a model that I was using to demonstrate some tutorials or some videos. There was a model or statue that I created. He was asking the approach, how did I create that or come up with that. So I'm going to also, by doing this, answer his question. So I'm going to use an object tool. If I open the settings, I'm going to search for 3D shapes. There is 3D shapes folder within the default library. There's nothing. Or maybe let's say sphere. Okay, so I'm gonna select the sphere and then go straight to its folder where all these 3D shapes are located. So we have a bunch of 3D shapes here, or geometry, that we can combine and come up with interesting interesting sculptures or artwork. So I'm gonna start with this one and make sure the 3D resolution is on full, and then hit OK. Let's go to the ground and place it right on the center of this, and set the height. Set the height of this, the offset height for this from the floor to be, let's say, 900. If you check on 3D, we'll have something like that. Maybe a meter, 1.5. Yes, I think 1.5 would. And then from there, I'm going to duplicate it by Ctrl+Shift+D, keyboard, then pick it from the center or from the center point, then place it again to the same point. So let's open its settings. This is the settings of the copy, and I'm going to change the shape to a spiral. Go to its structural settings. The angle, the sweep angle for this is 270. I'm going to change this to, you can also activate the 3D so that you can see what you are doing or the results of your your sweep angle. So for example, if you say 200, oh sorry, I pressed enter. Either way, let's just check it on 3D. So let's set this to be 0. Yes, I'm gonna set this thing to be 0, and I might, let me see, you can click it on this point, then try to control Okay, let me go back, and what I want is to select this spiral element and bring it right within the within the circumference of my shape, like that, and move it to the side like that. Alright, so I'm going to go back, Control M to mirror a copy from the center point to the other side. Check on 3D. You have something like that, but I can, let me see if I can select these two, and instead of the sweep angle to be 200, make it 250. You're getting close. Let's make it 260. Yeah. Yes, I think. Let's drop the sphere down by 100. So I'm gonna make it 1.4. Something like that. Yes. What do you think about this? It looks interesting. It's different from what I created from that video I was talking about, but at least I came up with something different. As an artist, you can't repeat your last art. So, this is what I think it looks nice. It's really interesting. So there's so much you can do with this 3D shape. I recommend you to try it out and play around with combining different shapes and tweaking their settings a little bit in order for you to create something artistic. Okay, so I think one thing that is left, one last thing, will be maybe detailing the base for that. So I might select the 3, then group by Control G in your keyboard, then go back to your what you call blend view, then select ungroup. What I want is to select these two, so that I want to rest them or place them on top of the beams, on top of the wall of my, yes, like that. And then I can drop it a bit, let's say by 50. Yes, something like that, so that it becomes part of that, or the point becomes a base of the stage. All right. Okay, I'm impressed. Now let's continue with the video and develop a section from this. So the section is going to cut across the garage and then this feature here, because we want to add more details and detail this to practically come up with elements that are working. Previously we were just modeling it for the sake of having a 3D impression. Now we need to put details and make this feature work. So the first thing, I'm going to change this to the same material of wood. let's go to its setting. I need to choose the side because I'm going to just change from the internal side. So in order for you to identify which side is the one to change, you have to look at or observe your reference line, right? So if you open the settings, the reference line always is on the outside face. Okay, so that means the one that I want to change is the one at the outside face. So I'm going to type wood. That is wood pine. Because it's vertical, it's going to be horizontal. Then hit enter. There we go. It's nicely changed. Okay, let's go back to the ground floor. And what I need is this is the section that I was talking about. It cuts through the garage, then to the other side of the structure. Let's right click and open this section with the current view settings. All right, so the first thing to do is to set up the foundation. So I'm gonna go here with this template. If you go to the view map, all the views are well structured here. So I'm working on the detailed design views. By the way, if you want to get this template, check the link on the description. On the section here, the template, you will find the link for the template. It's a well structured template, and it will help you to optimize your projects and deliver them efficiently, well in time. So I'm going to, like I was saying, the foundation. So let's activate the substructure view, and we're going to trace over to trace over the ground to place the footing. So I'm going to use either the beam tool or the column tool to place the foundation. Let's use the wall tool. From here, let's start tracing over there from the outside. I'm gonna quickly do that. Oh, this is not accurate, see? So I'll come back and fix that. The good thing with and then that is not the right wall. Let me right click, hit OK. So I can start over here and do the same. We need a footing for this wall. Hit OK. I'll continue from here all the way to there. Then we're going to have another footing for this wall, and this one we can just stretch this to that, or I select these two and then intersect just like that. For this, I'm going to stretch it all the way to there. This is the one that needs to be placed like that. Finally, select those two and intersect. Okay, we have another one here. We can intersect with that one. All right, so here we're going to have a different arrangement of the footing because we have two walls, basically three walls. All right, so let's go back to our section. We need to clean up this here. But by the way, it has to continue all the way. like that. So if you go back to the section, you will have your walls, but we can select all of them within the substructure. Let's select all the wall by activating the wall tool and then hit Control A. I'm going to set it right to be the height to be 0 from the footing, so that it rests right on top of the footing line. And one thing again is to link it to the ground floor. Let's see, it's not changing. 500. If I open its settings, yes, I think this is the problem. It has to be 0 so that it can go all the way to the ground floor like this. All right, so okay, now we need to add the different types of footings to have, especially for residential projects, depending on the region and also the condition of the ground. So that's also key when you're designing your foundations. So they always influence the type of foundation to use. In this case, I'm going to use just a simple strip footing, and in order for me to create a strip footing, I'll select all the elements. Let's go back again here, make sure they are all grouped, and change to a basic structure, because you won't have your plaster on plaster and paint on your foundation walls. Okay, from here we want to use a complex profile to create to add our footing. So maybe I'm gonna go to options. The either way of bringing your profile manager, I will go with this one and create a new foundation. With this template, we have different types of foundations, as you can see. If I open this folder, we'll have general profiles for your foundations. So you can superstructure. Okay, let's create a new one. I'm going to hit on new, then say footing. It's already exists. Strip footing, then hit OK. There we go. So I think the best way could have captured one of the walls here. So let's do that. Select the wall, then capture, and let's activate the fill tool. Change the material to concrete structural foundations. Right, then I'm going to place it at the bottom of the wall. This is going to be 690 by 200. Select the fill, make sure the outline is active, and set the line to be a slab, a cut slab. I think 0.40 is fine, and then make sure it's positioned on the center of your wall to form the perfect base for your support. So let's hit save. Oh, I didn't save it initially. Say 340, 200 millimeter height, something like that. And then I'm gonna go back to my foundation view, then apply this to this all selected footings, right? And then from there, I'm going to open the section and see. Let me see here. Unfortunately, the height of our wall goes all the way to the ground floor. which is not the ideal situation. I'm gonna pick the measurement, the height for this, which is 1035. Let's go back to our profile and set up our wall to be 1035 and stretch my curve. Make sure the hotspots are also moved. Then save. Once you are done, go back. There is a problem here. Oh, we need to apply. It didn't save automatically. Normally, once you've updated the profile, the elements should be updated automatically. But I can select all the elements, then say apply again. Oh, sorry, the section. There we go. It's nicely cleaned like that. All right. So from here, so you could see we have this problem of this joint. So our slab needs to be on the inside. So I'm gonna go to the ground floor. So this slab needs to be inside. It depends on the region. In my region, concrete should be applied. You build first the foundation wall, then that's when you can cast the concrete on the boundary of your foundation wall. So this is well represented. This should be on the inside. Well, we still have. So now our wall on the ground view should start on 0 instead of negative 300 or minus 300. So that is a problem to be addressed. And then also the walls are made up of a composite, right? With a composite, we can decide to get rid of the composite. Let's say, in order for us to clean up, you see we have a different variation of lines here because this one represents the finish. So what I'm going to do is to make a decision. I'm not going to represent the plaster. This is going to be on the ground, right? I'm going to select all these walls except you select all this and then just make them basic structure. So if you go back, that will be cleaned, right? So you have a nice footing like that. Like I was saying, the walls from the ground floor has to start on level 0. So let's select all the walls, then set it to 0. Check in 3D that is not affected. I can see here we're having an issue because this is our foundation wall. So we have a difference of gap of 165. Instead of having them 0 minus 165 and go back. Perfect. So you could see the line of our foundation wall all round, like that. Because this one is a 115 wall, needs to sit on 0 on top of your slab, and I might stretch it all the way to up, then right click, solid element operation. They will be added as a target, and then the roof is going to be operator, and trim it off by a subtraction with upward extrusion operation. There we go. Nice. Okay, let's go back to our section, and yes, there is a problem or a situation to be addressed because we have two walls here that are patched together. So the two ways of it. This one is a double wall, which is around 500, and then we have another wall here. So the footing needs to be addressing the situation. So I need to change this to a width of 760. So I'm gonna go back, right click maybe, and edit selected composite. Let's duplicate this instead of editing on the original file. I'm gonna duplicate it by clicking on this plus, then duplicate, set it duplicate, and I'm gonna change this to be 460. Hit enter. I can draw a line from the origin. It's always good to position your profiles from the origin point because they will determine the placement of the element within your file. So the 460 will start from the origin point line, and draw your 460 like that, and this should be on the center. Is the center point? Is this one? I'm gonna get rid of this line, get rid of this one, then I'm gonna move this line to here, and also the hotspots. They're very important, these hotspots, because I might widen up my concrete base by 100 to accommodate the load capacity from the wall. Okay, once you're done, you hit save. Let's go back to our section and apply this to the selected element. Wow, it didn't change. I thought this was supposed to be 760. Oh, sorry about that. Let's go back. 760. Where did I get 460? I'm gonna quickly do that. Forgot what is this extension to 15. I'm gonna delete, clean up. Okay, there's this hotspot, right? Then save. If you go back to your section, this should be updated. I don't know why it's not updating automatically, so I would need to rebuild so I can, because it's, or maybe a rebuild. Let's see the rebuild. Do we have a rebuild on section? Oh, we don't have. I'm gonna apply it manually like that. Okay. With this wall, it needs to cut through the concrete. So yes, I'm going to go back to the ground, and the concrete needs to be right on the edge like that. Same applies to this one. There we go. Thank you. All right, I can now get rid of the profile window. Now we're moving on to, we're done with the foundation. We're moving on to the roof, because like I was saying, the roof was, this was developed for the purpose of generating 3D. So if you look at this, it's a roof tool that doesn't really represent the construction methods of this roof. It's just an outline. So we're going to have a rafter of this size. We can either use the roof tool as our rafter, right? Because even the ceiling will follow this profile for our roof. So we're gonna have this as our rafter, and then we place some pair lines that will be that this cladding or the roofing sheet will be installed on. So to do that, I'm going to use the beam tool. Oh, sorry about that. I'm going to use the beam tool. Let's go to activate the roof level, and from here we are going to place or activate a beam and set this beam to, we're going to use a pair line of timber. I'm going to go timber roof. I want the size, the height will be 78. Is it 78? Let me go for 80. This is 80 by 38. By 38, right? Then I'm going to place it somewhere there. Yes, right click, hit enter. For the sake of modeling, I'll keep it because I'll keep it visible here, but practically you won't see your parents when on your roof plan unless they are in dotted or hidden lines. So for the purpose of modeling, let's leave it the way it is. Let's open the section. Then don't want it to be in a thick line, so maybe go to floor plan section, change the cut to be a reasonable thickness. 0.13 is fine. Let me move it. I'm gonna move it right here on the top. You know, the good part of the beam tool is you can rotate the angle as well on here. So let me go to view and on screen view options, and switch off the view true line weight, and then I can rotate by picking one of the points here. Oh, which one should I? Yes, pick one of the points. You can rotate. I forgot the angle, should be 23 degrees. Yes. And then place it nicely here, or maybe move it a bit, 100 away from the point, like that. Okay, I'm going to mirror and copy to the other side, and I don't know if this should be aligned. And the angle is different. This one is 26 degree. I'm going to rotate. I don't think it's accurate. Anyway, I'll leave it like that. Okay, so obviously this will now affect our roof height. We'll have to adjust the roof, and then if you go back to, I don't know, you see there's a challenge here. You would want this to be I don't know why. Oh, it's not accurate. Yeah, maybe this will do. I wanted to create a line because these are two different materials here on this one. Maybe move it up by 0.5 millimeters. That's normally how I cheat. Let me move back by 0.4. something like that. Okay, so let's go back to the roof plan and now run multiple copies. You can also do it on section. Let's start from there and multiply. I'm gonna use increment and spread, then spread it along the line 900 center to center all the way to there. I need to group them. Select all, then hit F5 to isolate. I'm gonna select all this and group. Make sure the material on 3D represent timber. You see, I'm gonna uncheck this to derive material or to generate material from the surfaces from the building material. All right, so let's go back. For this one, I'm not going to multiply. I'm going to just make a copy and then place it in there. And this needs to continue wrapping along our walls as well. So I'm going to Control-Shift-D again to carry a copy, place a copy here. Then the rotation, let's open its settings. Within the settings, under the beam section, the rotation, we're gonna set it to 0 so that oh no, it's supposed to be 90. It's supposed to be 90. -90. Then align it. So obviously this will affect our sheets. I'm gonna cheat a bit, 0.1 to have a line there. Okay, run, copy, spread along the length of the wall. 900 is the space between, like so. F5 to isolate in 3D, then group. Perfect. If we go back, let's move on to the other side. Let's just drag a copy of this. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry. Control-Shift-D to drag a copy of this to there. Move it away by 0.1 just to cheat, in order for you to have that line. Adjust the position for the cladding. Control-Shift-D to carry a copy. Okay, so if you review the results on 3D, let's right click and show all. This will be now in, oh sorry, you could pick this one needs to be adjusted because the parallels are exposed. I'm going to go back here. Let me see. Move it back. The parallels are still exposed. Let's move it back and cheat by 0.5. Okay. Wow. Oh, now I see where is the problem. You see here it's fine. The problem is there because of maybe this is not straight. Either the wall is not straight or the cladding is not straight. This can be addressed on the ground floor. Let's see who is not in sync, I think is the cladding. I already picked is the cladding. I'm going to rotate it. Yes, it's the cladding. Okay, so that will be addressed neatly. We have the same problem persists here. How can I adjust it on 3D? Maybe on section. Let me see, open its settings. Maybe I can do it on the settings. Let me know in the comment section, how will you approach the situation? I have my pay lines. You know, it seems this needs to be aligned, unless the pay lines are the one that is a problem. Let's see. But they are 0. There's no any problem with the pay lines. Clearly is the cladding. Because you see this side is fine, only when it gets here, when it gets to this point, it's starting to have a problem. Let's see on. Okay. No, I've identified. I think it's the angle. I think it's the angle. Oh, I think it's the angle. So let me bring this one here. I think so. I don't think. Maybe move it back by 0.5. Yeah. Let's set the angle, increase it a little bit, 23.2 or 0.1. Wow, that was a lot. Okay, before I set, let me confirm with the other ones. I'll set it to maybe point. Yeah, should be fine. Wow, a little bit. So maybe leave it at 0.5. Okay, that should be it. So I'm impressed. So now it will be the joint between the cladding here and then that way. So I have, if you go to the section, I have prepared, you know, a profile for the ridge. I'm gonna just take it here, place it somewhere there, or I can create a new from scratch. So if you activate your polyline here, you can easily draw your wall like that. I mean your line, and then another line, trim it off, and also retrace it again with a full polyline now for the for the purpose of you know, offsetting all edges like so. So this will be 15. So now I can get rid of that. Wow, let's create a copy by hitting Control to there, like so, right? So this will be a fill. Let's trace it over. Geometry method will be polygonal. I'm gonna trace it over with a fill like that, right? I can get rid of this And let's do over on the side. Start with a polyline, draw a line, another polyline there. You can trim it off if you want. Then you have now, you trace it over with a full polyline and offset all the edge. Make sure you carry a copy like that. Activate your fill, trace over with your fill, something like that. We have another situation this side. You can, if you want to be accurate, you can, place this according. So I'm gonna set a line like that, maybe draw it down by a specific line if you want your elements to be a certain way. But for the sake of this, it's just demonstration now, so I'm not going to bother much or too much about the dimension or the measurements. Activate the polyline, trace it over, like that, then offset, hit Control to add a copy, 15 millimeters. We activate the fill. So these fills are very critical because we're going to use them to create the profiles. Okay, we can create our profile once instead of one by one. So I'm going to select all the fields like that. Okay, then hit Control C to copy. Alright, so then go to options, complex of profiles. Let's open the profile manager and create a new profile. I'm going to call it flashing, steel flashings or metal flashings. Then hit OK. I duplicated, I don't know why I was duplicating, but please click everything and then Control V to paste our fields. I'm going to paste it to the center of the current view. Then okay, let's click outside to complete the pasting process. Select all. Then I'm going to activate the outline, set it to pen 1. I'm going to drag it from there. Yes, I'm going to use this origin point. I'm going to place it using this point, right? Then save. I don't know, remove. Okay. So if you go to your roof level, activate your beam tool. Oh, we didn't make this available to beam tool. So go to edit and then select your beam tool, then save to make it available on our beam. Change the structure to profile and search for steel flashing and place it right on the ridge. It should be somewhere here. It's fine, even if it's not accurately positioned, we can later adjust it. Okay, you see it went this side. I don't like the way it's the background on the drawing, so I'm going to go to floor plan section and then get rid of the fill. If you go back to the section, we will have to mirror it. I'm gonna pick it from there, mirror it vertical. Okay, and then we're going to position it. Let's move it with this within this point. No, we shouldn't mirror it. It was accurately positioned. Let's undo and then pick it from this point and place it there. perfect. It's perfectly positioned. We can get rid of our fields. Hit Control A, select all the field. Now we have our flashings placed accurately. I can get rid of the profile window. If you check on 3D, you have nice results. I don't know why there is this problem here, but that's ArchiCAD for you. Sometimes it will give you these kind of problems to solve. So now you need a detailed profile. We just placed this column and bill lining to cover that, but you need a serious detail for the flashing. Okay, so to do that, you will have to do it either on section or floor plan. So if you go back to our section, no, we need to change, do it on this section. Let's right click, but let me see. Right, because we are developing this section, we are pretty much you know what I want? I want the section to face the direction of the openings. So I'm going to go back here. Let's see. But that's what my section does. I don't know why it's not capturing the doors and windows. Let me see. Okay, I had to change or adjust the range. Right, so now we have this, which is a nice instant result you get from this template. You can modify a bit, like maybe introduce shadows, or let's do that. I'm going to introduce shadows. I'm going to do it right here on the view under detail section. I think it should be section 1, right? Yes. I want it to have override. But anyway, let's right click and go to section settings. What I want is under the model view appearance, let's set the shadow active, and then I'm going to set them to be color. I don't know why this is not the right pens style I want, so let me cancel. Within this section, go to settings and change the pen sets to MS Building Pens Arc. If you want this pens, I'll put the link on the description to download the pens as well, the pen set. Let me hit OK. Yes, you see now it's shades of gray, which I'm looking for. I'm gonna go back. Set the shadows, change the pen to pen 1, that is 0.13. It's a black pen, it's a dark pen. And what else? Let's hit OK. Yes, we have our shadows. Perfect. So in order for you to achieve a bit of, to achieve the true representation of the surfaces of your material, where again you also have the cut elements within your section to be graphically or vectorially represented, you'll have to change on your settings under model view. So it's cut, fill, non-shaded under the cut elements, and then within the uncut elements you have to use surface texture fill non-shaded, right, in order for you to get this kind of representation. All right, so we'll need to clean off and put more details to I'll put the capping to our garage wall, a garage parapet wall. Okay, so let's do that quickly go to the roof, and then I'm going to use the beam tool, change the profile. I don't think I have a capping here, but we can search. We don't have, but for now set this to be basic structure, then change it to concrete, just your normal concrete, and go to this measurements. The height will be the height of a brick, which is around 80. This should be 230. Okay, and then I'm going to place it based on this point, the reference point. Oh, sorry, I should have the chained link geometry method. Okay, let me select all this. I thought I set the, okay, the height should be 80 and then the width should be 230. Okay, then I'm gonna move it to the other side. Is it 230 or 250? Yes, somewhere there. If you go back to our section, there we go. I'm gonna drag it down a bit. This should be 260. But normally you would want it to overlap a little bit. Let's make it 280. Yes, you would want it to overlap a little bit so to cut the flow of water, and you want it to slant either inside or on the outside to promote the flow of water. So let me capture the profile. I'm going to capture this profile by going to options, complex profile, profile manager. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say edit. Why? Let's say capture the profile. So there are different types of precast coping. So this one I'm gonna just do it on the outside, maybe raise it by 10, right, and maybe again push it out by 10 to overlap, maybe, and then maybe taper or chamfer the edges by 50. 50 is too much. Let's drag it back by 25. I'm going to chamfer this one as well, like so. Then save. Okay, I might have to adjust the points. Then save. This will be concrete copy. Or precast copy. Oh, what's going on? Precast spelling is wrong. Okay, so if you go back to a section, select all the elements and make sure it's ungrouped. After selecting all, then apply the profile. So okay, either way, I'm not really fast with the direction of slope, even on the inside, because we have a slope there. It's fine. Okay, there is our garage. I think within our garage, this walls needs to be the same stucco paint. Yes, I think even that one stucco paint. Let me close this. Alright, if you go back to our section, I wanted it to be protruding a little bit. I don't know why. So let's go back to our, I'm gonna select this and then right click and edit composite. So we're going to move it back, or maybe push it back by 10. I'm sure this is 10 as well. Yes. And then save. If you go back, this needs to be captured. All right. So yeah, fantastic. So with this beam slab, it needs to be rested, or it needs to rest on the part, at least half of your wall. So to address that, let's do it on 3D. I'm gonna select it, then offset all edges by, the width of the wall is 260. That means the half of the, okay, I need to move it by, offset it by 130 in order for me to have that, because you'll have to have a beam here. Okay, it's not showing because the connection priority strength of the materials, the brickwork is stronger than your concrete. So either I change by editing the complex profile, but this is structural. So let's select the two elements and go to element attributes, building materials, to change or set up the priority. So for the brick, you could see it's 720 stronger than this one. Is 606. I'm gonna make it 800, a little bit stronger than your brickwork. If you hit OK, that should be, so you would have your elements now popping. This is the best way to adjust that. Okay, so what else is left? Another thing, to detail further your section, you would want to, I will select all the openings, for example, like that, and go to documents, annotate, label selected elements, right? This is the default what I got from the labels. I'm going to select all of them, either redo and undo and redo, so that it can be selected, and open its settings. I'm gonna go for property label ID, whatever. Yes, let's go, either one will do. So this is the preview. This is how it is. I don't like this line. I'm going to get rid of the line. Let's go here, symbol, label, storm settings, and then uncheck your leader line, and then hit OK. So I want this to be on the center. What is D? Okay, the D is for the garage door, right? Alright, I'm going to make this to be positioned on the center of the element. So I'm going to activate the label tool, Control A to select all the label and open its settings. To achieve that, make sure this is the frame distance should be 0, so that everything should be on the, I don't know why this one is not 0, text box. What's going on with you? Look, I'm gonna do it manually and place it here. Alright. Okay, and then I'm going to label the spaces by using just your normal text. Or let's see, you can go to the ground and copy this to copy, Control C, go back to your section, paste. Paste like that, then place it there. Okay, what is this text? Maybe bold it a little bit. Let's see. Not bad. I like to format my text. Maybe the alignment should be on the inside. Let me know, from the center, like that, and then I'm gonna select it and then open its settings within. Yes, the text blocking format is very critical, guys, especially if you are working on a view that you want to generate series of drawings. For example, if I to also use this section for blown up details, the formatting is very important because the anchor point should be on the center. It depends. All this is very important, but in this case, I want the texter, my text, to maintain the same position regardless of whether the scale changes. Okay, so let's hit OK. I'm going to show you an example. If I were to change the section scale to 1:20, 1:10, for example, you see my text maintain the same position. So if I were to change this to a bigger scale, 1:200, it maintains the same position. You see? Whereas if this was let's see the text. If my text would have were anchored, for example, here on this bottom corner, it might be a problem on other scales. You see, it went far. And then if you say 200, it changes the position. So hence the formatting is very important, especially the anchor point. It's very critical. So I'm gonna bring it back to the center. Oh, sorry. Bring it to the center. Then I want it to be positioned here. This should be there. Alright, so this will be the corridor. I mean the foyer, entry foyer. Maybe move it right there. Yeah. Okay. So I like to place a little bit of silhouettes, 2D silhouettes, for just to give scale, just to put scale to my drawing. So I'm gonna search for 2D silhouettes. I've shared this library. We are developing another library for the silhouettes, very interesting one as well. So if you want to check the link on the description to check this or to download this library. So I'm gonna put it here. For the garage also, I have developed another library. I don't know it's placed on this one. Let me go to libraries and object and place the library. Quickly. 2024 2D collections focus. Let me load the entire library. If you want this library, also check the link on the description. I'll place it for you to download. There we go. While I'm still waiting for this, don't forget to subscribe, guys. Like I said, this is the best way to support this channel. Also, be part of our community group, our community, by joining our WhatsApp chat group, and also become a member to our Patreon membership platform, where you can harness and utilize the assets that we deliver every week, every single week, when we're creating the videos, either creation of videos, or we have an arrangement where we send a newsletter for new project files every single week. So it is a platform where it's pretty much active. Every single day you will receive some assets to really improve your workflow, either library or a project file to try to use it in your own practice. All the links are there in the description. If you're interested in the results of this template, the results what this template produces, check the link also in the description to download the template. It takes time. I don't know why. Just to load. Oh, I've loaded the entire library, because they are, if I'm not mistaken, more than 4 different catalogs for the cars. Also, you can contribute by suggesting topics for me to cover, even projects. You can send an image, or just type in the comments what kind of content would you like to offer us to create. Because at the end of the day, we're doing this for you. If we are doing it and it's not really addressing your needs, I don't think that it's the best way to do it. It has to address your problems. Hence, I'm always picking project orientated content, so that we go through different problems and see my approach. I'm not saying you should use my arrangement. It's just for me to share my approach. You might have a better option or a better alternative to what I'm suggesting here, or what I'm applying here, which is fine. And also, I would want to be also I would like you to share also if you have a different approach, so that I also learn from you. It's a two-way thing, not a one-way thing. I'm here to share, not to educate you, and to share and learn from you also, guys. All right, so if I go to object and try to load the newly placed with the previous version, this is ArchiCAD 20. This previous version, I could see all the loaded libraries here. I don't know what with this one, it doesn't show all the libraries. Okay, here it is, 2D cars. All right, we have classic, we have elevations ones, we have luxury cars, futuristic cars. I want the one I'm looking at is the elevation. I don't have the front elevation one, but that would be ideal. I need to produce the one that I can use for elevation. Okay. So now I will have to change this to, because I need elevation view, not the side view. I'm gonna go to 2D vehicles and use the ArchiCAD vehicle symbol. I want the front side, and let's go through the styles. Put it somewhere here. Do do I like it to be white? No, I'm going to get rid of the, let me open in settings, 2D representation, make the fill background transparent. Yes, something like that. And maybe the line, maybe to be dark gray, something like that. Okay. Alright, perfect. So the next stage will be just placing some your annotations. I've done videos before where I was doing sections as well. So annotations, I use the label tool. Let's say I'm gonna go with the flashing first. You know what I like? I like to set up my annotations to be more of art. So I will, before I change everything, I will have to, let's say, move this one up here. Okay, I'll come and change the content of the annotations later, but what I'm interested in now is to set up the style or the order in which this is going to be. Let me see, this is going to be somewhere here. The style and order, how this is going to be laid out. Something like that. Then we go for the rafters, the roof structure. Oh, sorry. I'm going to align everything with this. Yes, then we have the cladding. We have the pair lines. These are not well aligned. Okay. We have the roof slab. Let me bring it somewhere here. Then we have the coping. I'll bring it somewhere there. Then we have the brickwork. This I can stretch because the content is the actual content. Then we have the foundation or footing. What else? Yes, I think from this session I've covered most of the stuff. This side will be your curtain wall. So I'm going to try to cover pretty much all the elements here because it's my responsibility. So it's your responsibility to communicate your design. And this is, you go for the windows, make sure it's aligned, and go for the floor slab. Yeah, this side I'm going to cover. Only those are not captured on the other side. Right. Perfect. So from here I'll use the keynotes feature. Unfortunately, with those that are using lower versions, we don't have keynotes. Now we have, with the ArchiCAD 28 version, we have the built-in keynotes. I could easily annotate and put specifications to my drawings. So for example, the first one, which is the flashing, let me see if you have to click and open the text, then click on the insert keynote. I'm gonna go under roof. Do we have flashing here? Yes, still rich. Yes, I'm gonna add that still rich. So what I like to do, let me just do it again. Still rich. I like to add the description of the note. The title of the keynote, which is the roof still rich, and then I'll add the descriptions that will formulate my note or my specification. So from here, the roof still, or the title, I'm going to bold it, and all this I'm going to change. Let me just leave it. I wanted to change the font size, the font style, but I'm gonna leave it to this one. Let's just keep it this way. Next is the roof sheets or the cladding. Hit insert, roof sheeting, add the title, add the description, and then break it down in two. Then you can stretch all this. It's going to take much of the space. You can always adjust if necessary. This is the flashing. Let me pick parameters of this, see if all right. That's the good part of using the label tool to place your annotation. I didn't bold the roof sheet title. Then we have the structure. We don't have timber, so let me go to documents, keynotes. That's where you open the keynote feature, and I haven't created timber here, so I'm gonna create a folder for timber. It's going to be timber, and then it will be, the key for this will be TB. Okay, there we go. Then I'm gonna insert or create a new keynote, so which is going to be TB-01, and that will be your roof structure. This will be I'll say SA Pine, treated by 38 SA Pine treated timber rafter. This is just going to be a timber rafter, and I'm going to have pair lines as well. I'm gonna add them. I could have said timber rafter on this one. This will be 2 timber pair lines. This will be 80 by 48 for SA Pine. Let me just copy this. Okay, so I can close it off once I'm done, and then go back to my label and insert the newly created timber rafter like that. Easy as ABC. That's how you create new keynotes. Then okay, this I'm going to pick parameters of the roof sheeting and inject. Or you can use what you call cladding, but it's fine. We need to create space between this. Create space. Yes, space has been created. And then this one is for what? It's for pair lines. Insert timber pair lines, then bold. Okay, enter. Let's bold that. Then we move it, align it there. Then this is the capping, concrete capping. We don't have the keynote for that. Concrete copy. This will be under concrete. Insert CO 02 precast copy. I'll put also the link for this, the entire database of the keynotes. So obviously there are some that we just added, so check the link on the description to download this as well. This will be I've used 80 okay, 80 by 260 mm concrete copy. Yeah, nothing special about this. So I'm gonna double click, insert, go to concrete. Where is concrete section? Add, separate this, then bold, move this to align. This is the brickwork, it's fine, brick and plastered and painted well. I'm just going to bold that. For the foundation, I don't think I have keynote for foundations. Oh, strip footing is there. Strip footing is here. Double click, insert, under foundation, strip footing, then bolt, like that. Move to the other side. This will be the glazed. Do I have the glazed material? Openings, under openings. Okay, I have glazed doors here. I'm gonna add. Oh no, it's curtain wall. What am I doing? There should be a curtain wall. Enter. I don't know why this is bold. You're supposed to be bold, say. And align. This is windows. Under openings, metal windows, right? So you can have series of nodes or specifications depending on your materials across all the projects. So you can have commercial, industrial, well preset, and this is the floor slab. This was a life changer, to be honest. I really appreciate what ArchiCAD did with this one. default. I don't know why this is. Okay, let me stretch it and move it like that. What else did I leave? I think I've covered almost everything in terms of in terms of that. One other thing is what I want to achieve. I want the outline for the, because you need to show the ground level, right? So I'm gonna copy this text and then place it here. So I'm going to natural ground level. So this will be my natural ground level, and we'll have FFL, or finished floor level, which is this line. And we need to indicate the level for our natural ground. So I'm going to activate dimensions and then change the construction method to elevation. I'm gonna pick there, right click, hit OK, and then place. So it's minus 200. Then this one, I'm gonna get rid of that, get rid of this one, because they are captured here, and minus 0, 0, 0. Yes, both the ground and the FF, it should be 3. Okay, nice. But you'd want to create, space between this. Maybe push this one here, somewhere here, like that. All right. Okay, if you made it to this far, I will have to thank you for that. We came to the end of our session. It was a pretty quite a lengthy video, so I appreciate your input, and yeah, I hope you've learned 1 or 2 skills, or something that will change the way you work and deliver architectural projects. So I want to thank you, and I will see you in the next video. Make sure to subscribe, comment on this comment section. What do you think? If you have a different way of resolving and addressing the problems we've been encountering. So also, I would like to hear that from you. Let me know in the comment section. Like this video if you're interested, or if you think it will be beneficial for other people. And yes, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.